Hello and welcome to Parking Ticket Scam Exposed. And I'm here to expose the parking ticket scam. I know we all go along to get along, but did you ever even read the ticket? Did you ever wonder why you have to pay these things? For example, you have any standard parking ticket over here, right? And it says here, the City of New York Notice of Parking Violation. It says here, the New York City Department of Finance must receive your answer to this notice within 30 days from the date of offense, or you will be subject to an additional $10 penalty. You can respond by mail, through the internet, or in person. Failure to answer as requested shall be deemed as an admission of liability. Additional penalties will be charged, and a default judgment may be entered against you. Vehicles owned by persons with outstanding default judgments may be towed. So pretty much, it just doesn't say here that you have to pay. It just says here that they must receive a response. It doesn't even say that you have to mail this thing back to them. It doesn't say, oh, mail this exact thing and mail it back to them. Alright, so you have on the site ticket number, which I guess is used to reference it, whatever they're claiming that they're charging you with, and on the bottom is the signature. But I really gotta give you notice that these are really interesting. And in the back is the most important part. If you're sending them a letter pleading guilty or not guilty, you're still writing your name, your address, and you put your signature down. See the signature line back here? Okay. So what this really is, to all my understanding, is a commercial document or a check. You know, a check would have something like a date, something like an amount on it, and whom to pay. You know? So when you're given the violation number, it's like the for field. So you're giving a check for violating whatever this field is. Then we have the signature of whomever is complaining against you. And over here you have the check number. When you rip it out of your checkbook, there's a check number. Same way as you have on a ticket. See? Alright. So you have the check number, like on the ticket. You have the amount of the ticket, quote-unquote ticket, or a notice, whom to pay, and you have the signature of the guy. On the back, you have the endorsement field. If you receive a check, you got to endorse it. You sign it, you would have the signature of the endorsement person, or AKA the guilty not guilty form with your signature. Just the placement alone of these things on a different part of the document may not look like a check, but to all my understanding, that this is still worth the amount of the ticket to them, to the government people. So this thing does not say here, oh, you must pay. It just says that, oh, if you don't answer them, then you'll be pretty much admitting liability, and they're going to come and tow away your car. Tow away your car and eventually sell it on auction for these quote-unquote parking notices. It's not even, you can't even call it a ticket. You weren't even given a ticket. It doesn't say anywhere ticket. It doesn't say anywhere that you have to pay this. So the idea to answering every one of these things is to just write them a letter. Like in a letter, you would put your name at the top, you would put the date, you would put the address of the person you're sending it to, and RE field, like as an email. You know, you write response, RE, ticket, the City of New York parking notice, parking violation number, whatever this. So when you're responding to them, you pretty much could tell them something like this. There's no harm in doing this, or as you'll receive another offer to pay from them. If you send it back to them to parking violations hearing by mail, they don't even read these things, and they even give you an offer of a reduced amount. If you ever tried this, this is actually the awesomest way. Just keep the original ticket, because they're not entitled to it, really. You know, all they're entitled to is a response. So here's my response to them. I write to them, notice of parking violation, whatever, and I tell them this. I tell them, the said notice was apparently placed upon my property by one of your agents. I hereby give you notice that I notice your notice, and I give you notice by my notice that I do respond in honor, which is pretty much all that it says here, that you must respond. In the interest of peace, goodwill, and avoid judicial intervention. I'm not trying to have a court case here. I just see that there's no obligation to pay, obviously. I do respond in honor, in the interest of peace, goodwill, and to avoid judicial intervention. The notice is hereby accepted and honored. However, in order to pay, I must first act as an administrator and exercise due diligence in this matter. Therefore, I direct you to send me a proper and lawful bill with the words bill and value upon the face of it, as well as the lawful two-party contract which necessarily must precede the issuance of a lawful bill. As I am a very important and busy administrator, pretty much what this means is that if somebody just gives you a letter, puts it in your car, puts it in your house, saying that, oh, give me this amount of money, you would tell them, sure, I'll pay you, but I just don't remember how I'm obligated to pay you. If you show me the contract that I signed before to be provided with goods and services, then I'll be glad to pay. No problem whatsoever. You know, but it just has to be either a verbal contract or a written contract with two-party signatures on it, where, you know, there's contract lines there. Alright, so that's pretty much the explanation of that. As I am a very important and busy administrator, I would greatly appreciate your help verifying the lawful existence of this obligation prior to you extending further offers for me to pay. I am sure you are aware there has been a spate of people sending out bogus invoices and notices which purport to be bills yet are not. I am sure you would not want me to pay unless the bill is first properly verified, as failure to do so may cost me my position as a very important and busy administrator, to which I have grown fond. Please send me a proper bill and a copy of a lawful contract which supports that bill. Failure to do so within 14 days will be taken to mean that there are nothing more than bookkeeping error in the part of the very busy, important administrator, which I am. So I sign it and I write that this is my name. I'm a very important, busy administrator. That's my title, and I'm the agent for the accused vehicle, because they don't really give you the ticket. They give the notice to your car. It just gets attached to your car. So really, it's a little ridiculous. So I'm the agent for the accused vehicle with my license plate. I write all rights reserved and none assumed. Pretty much, if you mail this back to them, they're not going to read this, and they're going to send you a notice of a reduced fine amount you would be able to pay before some sort of an administrative law judge renders this decision. But, you know, there's no obligation here that you have to pay them. All you got to do is really send them a letter. But I got to warn you guys that eventually they will just find you guilty, because they don't seem to understand that there is no obligation established by a notice. So if I put a letter on your door telling you to pay me money, you'd definitely be like, why? Like, what did you provide me for this thing? So, but if you just are negligent and you don't read what they give you, then you can go ahead and pay all the tickets you want. Especially in this economic times, like, I don't have money to pay this thing, so whatever, I can afford a stamp, I'll mail this letter out to them. But chances are, what they do is they still find you guilty, saying, oh, blah, 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 this and that. But really, they're just exercising administrative fiat, which is really just all a scam. So they give you a notice, they give you a letter, you send them a letter back. That's pretty much the idea of it. If thousands of people decide to do so because of this video, decide to try it out, what's the worst that can happen? You're gonna get a reduced fine amount, pay a smaller fine. Go ahead, why not? Alright, so thank you very much for watching this, and I hope you could use some of this information in your life. Alright, thank you very much, and have a good one. Bye bye.